Hello, BookTube. Well, it's that melancholy moment. It's the last mail haul of the week. It's a bright, sunny afternoon here, but I got the strong impression from my driver that there's nobody else out and about. I'm not going to get anything else today. We'll just have 3 packages to go through, so it's not even very big. But we'll give it a try, and we'll see. This has been a sort of catch as catch can mail week, but we'll give it a try. Sweet. Whoa. Oh, whoa. The Bean and I had such a wonderful morning. Hours ago, we had such a wonderful morning. She was just not interested in moving. Not at all. She was a different dog. Really, all week long, she has shown in little intervals a different side. I think what it is a glimpse of what she will be like in a year. Maybe even less than a year. A very wonderful, sedate, friendly dog who is not bouncing off the walls and needing to chew flesh. This morning, though, I mean, she's not a morning person anyway. We get up at dawn so she can go out and do her filthy, sinful business, but then she's as eager to come back in as I am. Doesn't want to meet anybody, doesn't want to walk around the block, just wants to come right back in, and then she goes to bed and I start reading or writing, and she's just dead to the world on the bed for hours. And then after a few hours, she starts to wake up and get a little restless, and that didn't happen this morning. Instead, the hours just went by and by and by while she was just. It's very sweet. So what have we got here? Oh, okay, great. This is the finished copy of Like a Sword Wound by Ahmet Altan, who I think one of you told me that he was arrested. He was put in prison, and I think I read in the news that he is still writing in prison. But he has. I'm not sure. I'll have to look up his biography, especially since I'll be reviewing this. But this comes out, yes, early October, and we saw this before. This is Volume 1 of the Ottoman Quartet, which I guess from what little I hazily remember, he is still working on the Ottoman Quartet. That work has not stopped just because he's spending the rest of his life in prison. But I don't think he committed a crime. I think he's in prison because of wrongthink. Coming soon to an American democracy near you. But that's a rant for another day. Let's see here. Altan's Ottoman Quartet spans the 50 years between the final decades of the 19th century and the post-World War I rise of Ataturk as both unchallenged leader and visionary reformer of the new Turkey. The 4 books in the quartet tell the gripping stories of an unforgettable cast of characters, among them an Ottoman army officer, the Sultan's personal doctor, the scion of the royal house, whose Western education brings him into conflict with the family's legacy, and a beguiling Turkish aristocrat who, while fond of her emancipated life in Paris, finds herself drawn to a conservative Muslim spiritual leader. And I was intrigued with this right from the beginning, and I didn't get to it, and now I have it, and now I need to get to it. So this is right around the corner, so I will put this on the nightstand rather than put it out on the shelves because it needs to be addressed. Let's see, what is this next one? Wheep. Wheep, wheep. Oh my, it's a Penguin classic. How nice. Okay. This is Hans Jakob Christoffel von Grimmelshausen. This is the Adventures of Simplicius Simplicissimus. This is a book that I have never read. A Penguin classic that I have never read. Let's see the author here. He was born in 1621, died in 1676. He was born in the Wetterau town of Gelnhausen, an area devastated by the 30 Years' War. Late in life, the author wrote Simplicious Simplissimus, which became an immediate and overwhelming success, initiating the German novel tradition. It was widely imitated, and existed in many versions and languages. Very little is known about Grimmelshausen's life, and it is hard to know how much of his novel is based on his own experiences, and how much of the tales he had heard of the war. And Thomas Mann, of course, weighed in. It is the story of the most basic kind of grandeur. Gaudy, wild, raw, amusing, rollicky, and ragged, boiling with life, on intimate terms with the death and evil, but in the end, contrite and fully tired of a world wasting itself in blood, pillage, lust, but immortal with the miserable splendor of its sins. Thanks, Thomas. That's great. So anyway, this is translated from the German, one in verse from the very German, by J.A. Underwood, and it has an introduction by Kevin Kramer. And I have heard about this book. I've read essays about it, but I've never actually read the book. And I'm not going to be reading it now. I'm going to be reading it in English translation. But still, it'll be a great introduction, as Penguin Classics are meant to be. So that's awesome. Hadn't expected a Penguin Classic today. All right, and then we have this last one. It's from St. Martin's, but it's incredibly light. So it could be a romance novel. I suppose it could be a mass market paperback. Let's see what we have here. Oh, it is. It is a romance novel. Oh, wonderful. Fantastic. Okay, it's a little late getting to me. It's due any day now. And it's a Christmas book. Fantastic. Okay, this is The Christmas Wishing Tree by Emily March. And there you have the requisite elements. The fancy script. You have the big ornate Christmas tree. You have the cozy house all the way in the background. And you have a dog. In this case, the dog is inexplicably just laying in the snow. But you don't have a couple, but that's all right. This is an Eternity Springs novel. So I guess Eternity Springs is the setting. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there are a bunch. First Kiss of Spring, Stardance Summer, Christmas in Eternity Springs, Reunion Pass, and Heartsong Cottage. All of those are previous entries in the Eternity Springs series. Sometimes all it takes is a little Christmas magic and a wrong phone number to turn everything around. From New York Times bestselling author Emily March comes a gripping, emotional story about a man who returns to his hometown and a woman who must escape hers. After so much time spent moving forward, they might be surprised to find all they've dreamed of is in a place they'd least expect, at the beginning. March's acclaimed novels have captivated audiences, and this newest uplifting tale is sure to be no exception. A man who loves adventure and the open sea, Devin Murphy returns for a short Christmas trip to his small hometown of Eternity Springs. Immersed in the joys and magic of the holiday season all around him, he doesn't hesitate to play along when a young boy mistakenly phones him when he tries to reach Santa to ask for a very special wish. Devin never guesses that a wrong number has the potential to make everything in his life so right. Hoping this takes place before cell phones. Otherwise, we really need to retire that gimmick. But this comes out on September 25th, so I guess I'm faced with the horrible burden of needing to read it right away. I will do that. But the Grimmelhausen doesn't have a pub sheet. It doesn't. There's nothing to go with this thing, so I don't know. I don't know when. I mean, this is the translation copyright is 2018. I'm assuming this is fairly recent. But one way or another. So that is our 3-book haul, all 3 paperbacks and all 3 made-up stories. So we have Like a Sword Wound, the Finnish copy, the lovely Finnish copy from Europa Editions by Aman Altan. Then A Christmas Wishing Tree with a very cold dog on the cover. And The Adventures of Simplicious Simplicissimus by Hans Jakob Christoffel von Grimmelhausen. So we have a Penguin Classic, a Europa Editions, and a romance. That's not a bad haul, even if it's small. So that'll do it for the mail for today and for this week. But we'll be back with plenty more as soon as Monday dawns. Thank you, BookTube.